Hi everybody, Golden Era Bookworm here, and today we continue with the Giant Killer series, looking at Danny Padilla's 6-day championship split routine, which he used to ready himself for competition and which won him several titles such as the 1975 Mr. USA and the 1977 Mr. America back during the golden years. Here is some footage from Danny to whet your appetites, hitting pose after pose, many saying that he looked like a shorter version of Arnold, and weren't they right? Danny possessed a massive yet beautifully symmetrical physique with perfect muscle insertions and the genetic potential to develop full muscle bellies. What a brilliant physique that Danny Padilla had. Here he is, pre-contest and ready for the 1980 Mr. Olympia, and many agree that this was the best version of Danny. I mean, he just looks flawless, beautiful, amazing physique. Just look at that vacuum. Here he is in preparation for the 1980 Mr. Olympia. And I mean, just look at this front double biceps pose. Damn, I mean, look at that vacuum. That's a front double bicep pose with a vacuum. Arms are full and developed. The lats are spread and wide. He's got a full chest in those legs. Great muscle separation in those legs. And of course, excellent calves as well. Danny Padilla was truly the complete package when it came to golden era bodybuilding. As mentioned in previous videos, Danny would ramp up to this very high volume, high frequency routine over the training year. And like Arnold during the pre-contest time, he would train like a devil, like a man obsessed, training each body part 3 times a week in order to gain more muscle and get shredded. His day 1 contest preparation routine involved training chest, back and legs, as well as calves and abs, whilst day 2 he would train shoulders and arms. The secret to gaining muscular separation and definition was to lose as much subcutaneous fat as possible to look muscular and ripped on stage, and therefore this training required very little rest between sets, with a point of trying to beat the speed record of each training session. There was no talking between sets, and Danny, like the other golden era bodybuilders, was all business pre-contest. Now onto the routine. Here listed is Danny Padilla's day 1 split, which he would train on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. This extreme high frequency program was used only 1 to 2 months pre-contest. Mornings he would train chest and back, whilst evenings he would train legs, that is quadriceps and hamstrings, and on top of that finish off by training calves and abdominals. Now, if we look at Danny's chest routine, it was almost identical to that of Arnold Schwarzenegger's, having of course learnt from Arnold. In fact, his whole pre-contest routine was quite similar to Arnold's. Danny's chest routine typically included a combination of basic movements such as the barbell bench press, as well as dumbbell movements like flies and pullovers, as well as cable machine crossovers, performing up to 5 sets of 8 to 12 reps per set. For the bench press, Danny preferred a shoulder width grip, bringing the weight down to his lower chest and pushing off again. He would typically perform 5 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions. For the incline bench press, Danny would use a shoulder width grip too, and as you can see from the photo, he would actually bring the weight down to his neck, keeping his elbows out wide. Dumbbell flies would be performed with as heavy a weight as possible, keeping the elbows bent throughout the movements, whilst cable crossovers were supersetted with dumbbell pullovers for 2 sets each. Cable crossovers were used for bringing out striations in his chest as a finishing movement, so to speak, whilst heavy dumbbell pullovers were used for developing the serratus and the intercostal muscles. Danny's back routine again included a combination of basic movements such as wide grip chins, barbell work, and cable work as described. Typically, he would perform 5 sets of 12 reps for all exercises listed. Wide grip chins were performed by chinning to the back of the neck for 1 rep, and the next rep would be performed to the front, therefore alternating from back to front for 15 to 25 reps. Barbell rows would be performed elevated on a bench like Arnold did for a full stretch, and the barbell was pulled to the navel and lowered slowly. At times, Danny would swap this exercise with another favorite, that is the T-bar row. Another staple exercise was the seated low cable row, leaning forward with each rep to get a full stretch and pulling to the chest without leaning back. Lat pull-downs were performed seated, and at times he would also perform this exercise by pulling the bar to the front of his chest, or other times, as listed, he would perform the behind the neck lat pull-down, again for 5 sets of 12 repetitions. Danny's leg routine was quite basic, as was most leg routines of golden era bodybuilders back then. A combination of leg presses, squats, and machine work would complete a leg workout. Leg extensions were performed by Danny for up to 10 sets of 15 repetitions, and this makes sense when you consider that the priority of a pre-contest routine was to have well-defined and separated musculature in the quadriceps. Danny would use up to 200 pounds in this particular exercise. For back squats, Danny would work up from 225 pounds to 325 pounds for 5 sets of 12 to 15 reps, going down to parallel only. Danny would also use 300 to 400 pounds on the vertical leg press, concentrating on the contraction in the quadriceps. And similarly, leg curls were worked for 5 sets of 12 repetitions, concentrating on the contraction in the hamstrings. On top of chest, back, and legs, Danny would also train calves and abs on Monday, using the routine listed. Calves would be trained using a variety of calf raises, including the standing calf raise on a machine and the golden era staple exercise, which not many people do nowadays, and that is, of course, the donkey calf raise. Danny would grab the heaviest partner available in the gym and perform 5 sets of 15 repetitions with a person sitting on Danny's hips. To finish his calf routine, Danny would perform seated calf raises with 400 pounds. Abdominals would finally be trained in a superset fashion, where Danny would perform 15 reps of sit-ups and hanging knee raises for a total of 5 supersets. That would complete Danny Padilla's day 1 split. I mean, wow. When you think about it, it's all I can think is what a routine. Going through this pre-contest routine makes me just wonder how these guys did it. Not only was the frequency of training incredible, but the total volume was just insane. Calculating the total sets, if we calculate the total sets performed on Monday alone, it's just mind-boggling. 19 sets for chest, 20 sets for back, 25 sets for legs, 15 for calves, and 10 for abdominals. That's a total, if my calculations are correct, of 89 sets. Wow, I mean, almost 90 sets on Monday alone. And this was repeated 3 times a week. And well, the finished product, well, Danny just looked massive and symmetrically perfect, didn't he? No wonder he was called the Giant Killer. So I do hope you have enjoyed this video looking at Danny Padilla's day 1 pre-contest split. If you have, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and please leave me your comments. That's it from me. This is the Golden Era Bookworm saying bye for now. Now, if you're interested in learning more about Danny Padilla's bodybuilding programs, he produced 4 booklets, which I am now selling through my website as ebooks, through my collaboration, of course, with Danny, including Plan to Win, my system for successful bodybuilding, as well as chest and back, shoulders and arms, and legs and abdominals, which tend to be more specialization courses. These booklets are filled with awesome knowledge from one of the bodybuilding greats, with my personal favorite being Plan to Win. This booklet is awesome. Now, these 4 booklets are some of the most honest booklets I have ever read, because in these booklets, Danny teaches you the importance of goal setting and describes the important differences between what makes a novice, intermediate, and advanced bodybuilder and what it takes to get there. All available at www.goldenerabookworm.com. To support your favorite YouTube channel, please visit teespring.com/store/goldenerabookworm for merchandise, including t-shirts, hoodies, face masks, phone cases, and much, much more. Once again, at teespring.com/store/goldenerabookworm. Become a patron at www.patreon.com/goldenerabookworm for hard to find books, scans of rare photos, and articles on the golden era of bodybuilding. To take full advantage of my collaborations, use code GEB20 with nspnutrition.com and vincegeronda.com, as well as code bookworm12 at osl.com for a discount at checkout. And for an entertaining look at the history of bodybuilding's supplement industry, I would highly recommend watching Subs the Movie, which I have collaborated in, available at Amazon Prime and Vimeo.